Today was a long day. I went to school till 10 to 6. Actually, it became longer. It became 6 o'clock in the evening. So I was home on 7 o'clock and then I had to eat dinner and I went to a gathering from my volunteer work where I help organize events. I need fudge. Because I knew this was going to be a long day for me, I already made a video this morning about me showing you all my books. I'm going to show you my favorite books. My favorite one is Bergsby and Wallflower. I cried so much. The Hunger Games. It's so cruel but so beautiful and so nice and so... these are my favorite books. Now I'm going to show you what's on my bookshelves. On this bookshelf there is Dutch literature, which I had to read for school a lot and I actually like them. This is Looking for Alaska. I haven't read it yet, but I just bought every John Green book after I read Paper Towns. Because Paper Towns I really love. And now see that Paper Towns isn't between these books. I don't know where it is. Fault in the Stars. I have seen the movie and I bought it yesterday. I have seen it in the cinema and now I own it. And I own the book as well, but I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read it. Will Grayson, I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read it. I started with The Adventures of Catrins, but I don't like it so much so far. I will continue one day, but I'm now reading the third Percy Jackson book. And when I finished with that book, I'm going to read Let It Snow. Billy and Me from Giovanna Fletcher. Giovanna! It's a very sweet book. Palo Alto, James Franco. James! I liked it. It was a little confusing sometimes because it's all these short stories and some of the characters are returning and all, and sometimes I forgot who was who. So sometimes it was a little confusing, but I did really like it and I want to see the movie. I really want to. This is a book I got from a friend of mine for my birthday. I have not read it yet because I've got so much to read, you know, but I'm going to read it, of course. I bought this 2 years ago and I haven't read it yet. And I call myself a huge McFly fan and I have not read the book yet. I'm so ashamed. I've read this for school, Lord of the Flies. And I bought it because I really liked it. The Dinosaur That Pooped the Planet. I have read this one and it's very fun. It's written by Tom and Doogie for McFly. Short stories, Irish legends. These are really nice stories. A little cruel sometimes. Well, this one, you know, from my previous video blogs. Well, it's just one. It's the one of the Midwinter Fair. If you haven't seen that one, click on this book. Percy Jackson, Part 1, Part 2. Part 3 is downstairs because I'm currently reading that. Part 4 and the last one. I got this all from a friend of mine, thank you for that. Beautiful Creatures, I haven't read it yet. I also got this from the friend that gives me the Percy Jackson books. Secret Circle, I have read this one and one day I will continue. First I need to read the books that I haven't read yet, but I own already. Before I'm going to buy the rest of these. I have to read quicker. The Stefan Diaries, I only own 3 and there are more of them already, but I have just read the first one. And Vampire Diaries itself, I started reading this in Dutch. I slowly started to go over in English. That's why The Fury and the Reunion are in English. I read it, you see, for a while. These were my favorite books. It's The Shapeshifter. It's about a boy that can shift into a fox. These are really good books. I still have to get the third one. Back in the time, it wasn't in Dutch and I only read in Dutch back then. But I can read it now in English. Artemis Fowl. This was the favorite book series of my friend that lives in Spain now. So I started to read it and it's pretty good. On the highest shelf there are children books and the whole collection of Narnia. I grew up with Narnia, so those were my books, I guess. Oh my gosh, all this time my pajamas were lying on the bench. Awkward.